Welcome. We have all of our crowd over here. Welcome to Secondary Academy for Success's graduation. My name's Donna Tayo. I'm the principal, and thank you for joining us tonight. If you could please stand, Jasmine Almareras, where are you, Jasmine? Thank you. We'll be singing the national anthem. Please stand and remove your hats. Graduates, keep your hats on, but please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed
Jasmine. Thank you. Beautiful. Welcome all you graduating parents, guardians, grandparents, aunts, uncles, school staff, nurses, cousins, and friends. All of you are part of the graduating class of 2021 tonight. You've all earned this. It's taken every person, every trick in the book, every skill, and then some to make this happen for these graduates of 2021. Many of you have learned how to do geometry for the first time or again, or doing chemistry labs, cooking, writing a persuasive essay, studying for exams, and learning to spell check. Teachers had to figure out how to take their magic in the classroom and make it work virtually. The 2021 school year isn't one to forget. It is a year to remember. It was a year unlike any before. We experienced a year-plus long deadly pandemic which forced us into virtual learning, which for many of us who really enjoy relationships was incredibly hard. But we've come through all the challenges and learned what matters is how we treat each other. That by showing grace and respect towards one another, we can end this stormy school year and make the lasting memories just a bit more peaceful and brighter. Every ending is a new beginning. Is it possible to switch our thinking from COVID as being a time to get through to looking at it as a time to learn from? We're going to be in this for a little while longer, and a switch of mindset might be what we need. To quote James Baldwin, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed if it's not faced." Let's try ending this year by looking forward to face our new normal world. All of us at SAS know, even in the best of times, how difficult it can be to cross this finish line. The fact that you did it, graduates, despite all the challenges you have faced this year, is not to be undervalued or downplayed. I challenge you to remember what you have learned through these unknown times. I challenge you to never underestimate how strong you are and what your part in the collective we is. You are stronger when you are part of a team. Your SAS team, your family team, your community team, your friend team. You learned this year just how precious life is and how vulnerable we can be, and yet in the face of adversity, we witnessed how resilient and strong we are. We are stronger because everyone, from the first responders and essential workers to you, stepped up in ways that you could. Just think, by walking across the stage tonight, you are joining the ranks of the next generation of innovators, thinkers, and doers. I challenge you to carry forward what is possible with awareness, innovation, and with technology. As much as we may want to forget the trials and tribulations of this past year spent in Zoom meetings and classes, we all have endured. Technology, for once, has been such a positive tool. It has allowed us to stay connected. It has allowed us to see each other's family members, and it's allowed us to use crazy filters to keep things fun and to even see the pets of our families wander across the screen and disrupt our classes. And even though we all got very tired of looking at those little black boxes and "you're on mute" comments, we were able to stay connected. And as much as we may need a little less time from gaming and Zooming, we can't forget what technology made possible. I challenge you to keep going, to keep seeing what is possible. Your dreams and ambitions don't end with graduation. Your future starts now, not tomorrow. Every ending is a new beginning. However, the key question for all of us, and for you especially, SAS grads, what will you do with the reclaimed future? Will you rush back to life as you used to know it? Or will you hang on to these new habits and the deepening connections you made with loved ones and friends when you were stuck indoors. Graduates, you have the chance to make different choices. You can come out of this pandemic not just stronger than you were before, but more humane, more independent, more intentional about the direction you want to take your lives. The world is not rigid, it's wild. Let's embrace this craziness and wildness and start figuring this out. We will never get back to what once was. We can only move things forward, and you can be part of that changing future. I think the theme you chose, Every Ending is a New Beginning, speaks directly to this and couldn't be more fitting. As you sit there next to your classmates, the only people who truly understand what you've been through, try to commit to ensuring that the decisions you make in your life are your decisions. Try not to pursue the things you are told will make you happy, but are things you want to pursue. And try to carry with you the empathy this past year has given all of us. This is one of the few times in human history when everyone on the planet has had their lives changed all at the same time. If you keep this in mind, I promise you'll discover a much more meaningful way of living, one in which you worry less about your plans and more about the gift of each day, the gift of all there is to see and enjoy around you, the gift of friendship. As Tony Only has told all of us, we are living through history. I believe you can emerge from this challenge stronger, knowing every ending is a new beginning. Congratulations, class of 2021, you did it. Thank you. Before I introduce our musical performance by representatives of our SAS music program, I'd like to recognize the district administration and school board that are on the stage with us tonight. We have Superintendent Dr. Michelle Reed, our very supportive school board behind me, President Bob Swain, Vice President Jackie McGordy, and directors Amy Cast, Sandy Hayes, and David Kogan. Grace, you guys want to get ready before I continue? This would be the time to come up. Thank you. And over to my left, we have Deputy Superintendent Dugan Harmon, Assistant Superintendent for the South Region, Heather Miller, Assistant Superintendent for the West Region, David Wellington, Assistant Superintendent for the North, Obadiah Dunham, Assistant Superintendent for the East Region, Michael Tully, Chief Financial Officer, Tracy Patterson, and Chief Leadership and Strategy Officer, Tracy Malloy. Welcome, all of you. And here performing Wildflowers by Tom Petty, our SAS music program. Thank you, Francesca and RL. Thanks so much. Beautiful. To begin our awards presentation, I'd like to call up Cheryl Oh, look, she's already here.
Thank you, guys. It's beautiful. Good evening. I'm excited to announce the winners of the 2021 Career and College Readiness Award. This award recognizes students who have actively engaged in preparing for their next steps after SAS. They have researched careers in schools. They haven't visited potential sites this year. And they've developed their resumes and enrolled in college already. This year's winners have taken Running Start courses, earned scholarships, all with the backdrop of the most unique school year any of us have experienced. The first recipient has already completed 4 Running Start courses at Cascadia Community College while maintaining perfect grades. One teacher said that this student is one of the most academically gifted students they have ever taught. Another teacher said, and I quote, "She is one of the most focused and hardworking students I've ever had. She is tenacious, and when she sets her mind to do something, nothing will stand in her way. She has devoted many hours of her time making blankets for Homeward Pet Adoption in Woodinville, and she is consistently one of the lead caregivers during our early childhood sessions at SAS. We are all very proud and confident that this graduate will succeed in earning her 4-year degree, and that is why Kaylee Maynard is the first recipient of the 2021 Career and College Readiness Award." Thank you, Kaylee. It's a long walk. The second recipient has also been earning college credit, and in fact, he has completed the most college courses in this graduating class, already earning 25 credits at college level. The thing about this second recipient is that he has had to work hard at school, and it often wasn't easy for him. He is the kind of student that SAS is made for. One teacher pointed out that this student's academic transformation from 10th grade to today was impressive. We are all incredibly proud of his accomplishments, and I personally look forward to the day that he graduates from Renton Technical College and returns to visit us as a successful veterinarian technician. The second recipient of the 2021 Career and College Readiness Award is Nick Guatelli. Thanks, you guys. And next, we will have Joanna with the Civic Engagement Award.
A very important part of our program at SAS is service to our community. We call it civic engagement. At SAS in a normal year, 15 hours of civic engagement is required of each student. CE is expressed in many forms at SAS. This year, however, due to our pandemic, we only required 5 hours. This class of 2021 has donated hundreds of hours over the last 4 years, volunteering at 21 Acres, North Shore Rotary, Crystal Springs Elementary, picking up litter around our SAS community in our business park. You've knitted scarves and hats for those in need, and kept up with our campus recycling and composting program. and you were SAS ambassadors at the youth equity meetings and student summits with Dr. Reed. Thank you for a stellar job representing our school in our community. It is our tradition at SAS to recognize those among you who stand out as leaders in the area of service to others. These two individuals both have a very special place in my heart and have indeed proven themselves to be the heart of SAS this year. Each has invested their lives in others and put countless volunteer hours this year and throughout high school. Both of these individuals gave far above the normal 15 required hours, even in the midst of this pandemic. This year's recipients were described by their teachers and peers as driven, dedicated to doing the job right, making sure SAS had a voice. We're positive SAS representatives at the district level and at school, welcoming new students and giving tours. They took care of those around them, volunteered with younger kids at youth group or coaching soccer, all while being kind, personable, and always wearing a smile. They both exhibited respect, tolerance, and concern for others. This first recipient of this year's Civic Engagement Award goes to a young woman who has been a student leader at each school she has attended. She would say that she is shy, but I think really once she has been someplace or meets someone, she's all in. She was new to SAS this year and right away signed up to be part of the Forefront Student Voices program. It was clear from the start that this student was engaged and going to make a difference at SAS. Soon, she was mentoring other new students coming to SAS, showing them the ropes. She would frequently teach other new kids how to track their credit and advisory and help out wherever she was asked. This spring, she represented North Shore students at the North Shore Foundation fundraiser by sharing her story and how North Shore Foundation made a difference to her family. This year's first recipient is Ali Fiayo. Carmen Diazzo, the executive director of North Shore Schools Foundation, had this to say about Ali. Ali is a light that shines in all circumstances. Working with her over the last few months, I've seen her optimism, commitment, and service heart. I am eternally grateful for her service and that I had the opportunity to spend some time with her. She makes the world better. Ali, we know that you will continue to serve as you attend Bellevue College and make a difference in lives wherever you are. We're proud of you. Our next recipient made a big impression on students and staff at SAS from the start. She is known for her big heart and the way she takes good care of all of us. She has given many people throughout her high school experiences, helping out younger students at youth group, leading on the worship team, participating in student leadership at North Shore Networks and in SAS, representing her schools for leadership conferences and engagements, being the world's best auntie, helping out at her parents' adult group home, keeping Al organized and sane during this pandemic, and representing her advisory as a SAS representative are just a few of the ways that she's contributed and served her school community. This award recipient is Jasmine Alvarez. Barbara Wilson, one of Jasmine's teachers this year, wrote about her in a letter of recommendation saying, "If you asked me to name one student at our high school who is a servant leader, without question, I would name Jasmine. She works with the elderly in an adult family home. As Jasmine speaks about the residents there, she tells me how much she values their rich lifelong journeys, demonstrating compassion and appreciation for each human soul. During class discussions, Jasmine is able to understand the opinions and plight of humans across the spectrum of life, able to acknowledge different perspectives without passing judgment. Jasmine is a role model to others and an inspiration to us all. Jasmine, your heart is so big and your love so vast that we can't imagine SAS without you. We know that St. Martin's will benefit from your leadership and are so thankful for the impact that you have left on all of us." Congratulations. will now have our first student speaker, the great and mighty Alex Shelton.
Hello, everybody. I've always struggled in school, had a hard time focusing and paying attention in class. When I was in 8th grade, I had to start paying attention and focusing without any ADHD medicine. That was very hard. My grades got worse. Teachers told me I wasn't going to be ready for high school, and kids told me that I was dumb and stupid. So I started staying after school for one-on-one help every other day, and I got back on track. But it was still really hard. Then one of my teachers recommended that I go to SAS for high school. She said that I'd fit in just fine, get better help, and there's no homework. And I was like, that's like a dream. Why would I not want to go there? Sounds awesome. But I couldn't get into SAS right away. So I spent the first half of my freshman year at Woodinville High School. It was really fun in band and art class, but the rest of it was really difficult and the homework was pretty overwhelming for me. When I got to SAS, I felt welcome right away, but it took a little time to get used to the school because it's pretty different. At SAS, I made friends quickly and started feeling good about myself. Band with Robert was a place where I met a lot of friends, gained self-confidence, and felt like a part of the school. And it was nice having more opportunities to get work done during Friday sessions. The teachers at SAS are different. The first time that I met Petty was on my first day at SAS, and I was hanging out in his classroom during lunch listening to music. And he asked what I was listening to, and I told him Tom Sawyer by Rush, and he was like, oh, cool. And then started blasting it on the classroom speakers, making the desks bounce off the floor. It was just nuts. That's when I realized that I was going to love the school. Petty has always been evil to Barbara, too. One time when I was in her class, he came down to help her on her computer, but secretly put tape underneath her mouse so it stopped working. And she kept asking her to fix his computer, and he just kept torturing her. Cooking with Barbara. Yeah, cooking with Barbara was also really fun. I learned a lot, made a ton of friends, and we made some pretty awesome food, especially mine. Mine was the best. By my sophomore year, I was getting a ton of work done and getting ahead in my credit, and the only reason why is because of Marilyn. I would lean back in my chair sometimes, and she said, one of these days you're going to fall, and I'm going to laugh so much. And then, what do you know it? I fell out of my chair, and she laughed. She'd also tell me, sit still and work, and she knew everything. She was a great help and a great motivator, and I'm so thankful for that. Another big help in my junior year was Michael Burton. He helped me so much with my English and math class. You could say if quarantine was my unexpected journey, then Michael was Gandalf. 100%. Cheryl is a big troublemaker. She sends me as her TA to pick on Jean and Sam and many other teachers. We played Nerds with Molly. Talking with Kelly at breakfast is always fun. Discussing world issues with Joanna. And the best, the morning announcement show with Dinah Michael and A-Town. Most people would tune it out unless I said something incorrectly. Then they'd tease me about it for the rest of the day, especially Cheryl. But that was all right because it was good-natured, and it was always funny. I always learned something new in Tony's class. I even learned about charcuterie. Apparently Sam really loves that. Walking in the business park wilderness with Tyler is always refreshing and spiritual, especially when we walk by that church. I know, I just can't help but feel blessed. Robert's class, too. I got a ton of nicknames, more than I can count really, and made a ton of friends. But all this to say is classes at SAS are a blast, but you still learn. SAS is a different kind of place, and different isn't so bad. And Jean, you're the best. Thank you.
Oh, there you are. You're on that side.
Great leaders don't set out to be a leader. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role, it's always about the goal. I would like to announce the 3 graduates who are receiving the class of 2021 SAS Leadership Awards. The first recipient is a person who would say they are absolutely not a leader, but the senior is a silent leader. A person who works hard without fanfare and humbly takes care of their business. Tony wrote that this student meets the 80% of life is just showing up on time rule. Dependable, someone who advocates well for themselves and is always there for others. A person who pushes towards goals beyond even their own comfort level. Part of Bothell High's theater group, this student worked late nights through stressful situations and even landed the managerial role, making sure things went smoothly during 8 productions. Despite moving schools and dealing with COVID, this graduate helped to maintain focus, give instructions, and wrote notes for improvement, updated script changes, and even built sets. I am pleased to announce that our first leadership award goes to Theo Williams. Our second recipient is a student who demonstrates the highest integrity, a person who cares about their community. One teacher wrote that this is someone you'd run through a brick wall for, a sweetheart, the backbone of SAS. Superlatives describing this graduate are helpful, thoughtful, wickedly smart, artistic, and funny. One faculty member stated that this person qualifies to receive an award in every category. A Girl Scout since the 1st grade, she is the longest member in her troop, racking up 200 community service hours, and she has a vest full of badges to prove it. Teaching life skills to younger members, planting trees to enhance our environment, and supporting her group through annual fundraising. This person is a gift to the community. Congratulations to our second recipient, Grace Davis. Kelly, our school nurse, has watched our next award recipient grow from a very anxious middle school student into a graduate with a strong sense of self-confidence. She is surprised to hear him tell her how much he enjoyed giving prospective new SAS students a tour of our school when he once didn't even want to attend class. Faculty members described this young man as caring and sensitive to others. During conversations, he really wants to know how others are genuinely doing, then listens intently to the answers. Polite and honest, he works hard on personal goals and treats people with kindness and respect. A great communicator and academic achiever who steps up to challenges, this graduate is the type of person who will always lend a helping hand, whether he is asked or not. He models responsibility and community service, which makes him an outstanding leader. And to top it off, he is flying high these days, literally, because he is earning his pilot's license. I am proud to announce that our final leadership goes to Aiden Alspector. Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce our next class speaker, Selah Lugo.
Hello, class of 2021. We're finally here. We finally made it. I'm especially grateful to be graduating from SAS. I was always that student you couldn't get to sit still and get to start working. I'm so sorry. I looked back on that now and I realized that I'm just a little bit high energy and there's nothing wrong with the way that I learn. SAS encouraged me to speak freely and to be free, which made me more comfortable coming to school. I used to literally never show up. I moved here from Florida, which is where all my family and literally everybody I knew was, and I came out here in my 8th grade year. It was really tough and really lonely, and then I started at SAS my freshman year. I used to never show up. I wasn't motivated, I was overweight, I was angry, and I was depressed. Sophomore year was a little bit different. I met some of my lifelong best friends, Angie and Aaliyah, the famous sisters. I also joined the music program that year, which was super lit. Junior year really kicked in hard, and I met the rest of my crew. Lala. Mary, I had known her previously, and I told her to come to SAS. She did, that was cool. And my East Coast repping girl, Akira. I didn't feel lonely anymore. Halfway through my junior year, COVID happened, and everything was just destroyed. I recently turned in my last assignment that explained exactly how my high school experience helped me grow. I wrote, I met some of the best teachers at the school. Unfortunately, when COVID-19 struck, me and my peers had some trouble with the online schooling. I ended up leaving their day program to go to contract, which contract allows students to get paper assignments, which is easier for me to do and complete them on their own time. I also had 2 jobs at that time, so contract didn't get in the way of either. This school has accommodated mine and others' learning disabilities. No matter what the issue was for a student, they always had a plan to help. Even though I had many obstacles on the way, they were always there for my best interest. If I didn't understand an assignment, they'd sit there and take the time needed to help me every step of the way. I feel like I speak for a lot of people here from SAS when I say this school is life-changing. A lot of us have problems at home or mental issues or physical issues or simply aren't looked up like normal children because we're troubled. I went to quite a few schools in my life. I was always good at socializing but really bad at academics. The school I went to never offered any extra help. Coming to SAS was the best thing that happened to me, and I wouldn't trade it for any other high school experience. I'm thankful for the teachers and the students I got to meet and who believed in me when I didn't want to be alive anymore. I'm filled with joy to be here and be leaving this era of my life, but I want to give a special shout out to Oliver. Sorry. Okay. special shout out to Oliver. We miss you a lot. We had talked during COVID about how we were going to graduate together, so this is for him. Congratulations to the class of 2021. We did it.
We have our senior slideshow that will be up on the 2 screens. Sorry, you guys. Enjoy.
Super seems like I just told them to play that song, huh? That isn't what happened. Is there a taller podium? Cool. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here tonight to celebrate the class of 2021 with you. I'm up here to present the SAS Humanitarian Awards to 3 individuals selected by the staff. This award recognizes students in our community that promote harmony, show a consistent ability to think of others with empathy and concern, and who aren't afraid to take risks or speak out when they encounter injustice. These vital qualities help build our community into the special place that it is, and also make it strong when faced with big challenges. I saw examples of humanitarianism from this group of seniors throughout the year in many forms. I saw you reach out to each other when we were apart and communicating was hard, and then have patience with each other when we were back together, but it was still hard. I saw you ask tough questions and walk in the streets. I saw you there for each other when you dealt with loss. When you needed each other, you took care of each other. When your teachers needed you, you took care of us. When I needed your help, you took care of me. When the wind had all but died, you still managed to make the trees move. So thank you, class of 2021. Now I have 3 of you to recognize individually. The staff had the following to say about the first recipient. A deeply caring individual, always warm and concerned for others. Really more like a peer than a student, kind and gracious, remarkably thoughtful and mature, understands the importance of community and works hard to develop it. A family man. This student, like several of you know, that you could escape at least some algebra work with a thoughtful question about music. The thing is, I do know when you really want to talk and when a kind of a run out the clock situation is developing. And I'll remember that talking with this student, and feeling what one of my colleagues said also. I'm talking to a friend. This comes from his calm and from the kindness that's within him. During the year, we grew to know him also as a caring family member, helping out in some elementary school Zoom classes as well. Our first recipient, Gabe Marquez Valdez. The staff had the following to say about our second recipient. Empathetic, socially aware and keen to what is just, compassionate to the human experience, spoke truth to power. Our next recipient can see the big picture. Even at a young age, they can see things from other perspectives, feel what other people are feeling, and from there take action. They know that kindness matters, but also at times bluntness matters. They work hand in hand, pushing our community forward patiently and also impatiently. They're a protector. I can recall times in crisis when they checked on others first, against pilots' instructions, securing the oxygen masks of others before their own. I'm very proud of you. Our second recipient, Joni Newman. Joni is joining the graduation ceremony tonight through the live stream. The staff had this to say about our final winner. Everyone's favorite friend, easygoing and caring, a great listener, gives more to the world than she even realizes, and leaves a lasting impression of harmony, kindness, and love towards others. Also very funny. I had other anecdotes to share about this student, about her positivity, and more specifically at times her loud positivity, and how that was indispensable to our music program. about the kind words she shared with our staff in the fall when as a group we were practicing thankfulness. But then a week ago, which is after we had selected the winners, in response to me just asking how the weekend went, she shared a very complicated story in which she drove past a bird that was dying in the street, spun around, came back, had somebody jump out and scoop up the bird off the ground, which is already like more than we would like usually do. Drove to Linwood, where there's an animal sanctuary, reported all the details to them to keep this bird alive. She was willing to be honked at and worse when she saw and knew what to do. An apt representation of a caring student, a wildflower, Francesca Bardetti. Our final student speaker, selected by her classmates, the one and only Grace Davis.
Oh boy, okay. I think I might speak for all of us when I say that it's hard to believe we're graduating today. We've all come so far from when we first arrived at SAS. I remember how nervous I felt walking through the doors on my first day. When I look back on that, it almost seems silly because of how comfortable I am now. I'm not even sure if comfortable is the right word to use. It's something much more than that. Really, this school has become my home away from home. As the story goes for many of us, I came from a high school I dreaded going to. Every day was a new battle to get out of bed. I was longing for change. I just didn't want to keep going on like that. When I found out about SAS, it sounded too good to be true. The promise of a safe haven and a place for me to start over was exactly what I needed. This is a school of second chances that has opened its arms to the misfits, the ones who didn't fit in, and the ones who needed help. All of us could identify with one of those categories when we first transferred, but today we also fall into the category of the ones who made it. Despite every roadblock and struggle that has stood in our way, we have persisted through it all. We've made it through with the help of the school, its staff, and our fellow students. On my 8th day at SAS, you could imagine my astonishment when the very first assembly I was ever present for was a massive drum circle. And when I say massive, I mean every student held a drum or some other kind of percussion instrument and was going with the flow. Hopefully, some of you guys remember this too, because I'm still not quite sure if it happened or if it was a fever dream. But about 2 weeks after my first day at SAS, my mom asked me if I knew anything about a voicemail that she'd received from a random number. She proceeded to play it for me, and to my surprise, it was Petty who had called. I remember him saying I had a warm smile and that he wished he had 100 of me in class. What teacher from a big high school would go out of their way to do that? I'm so thankful for that support, and have to say that this is something that any teacher at SAS would do. Their kind hearts and passion for what they do is a major reason that we're here today. Another reason I stand here is because of my parents. Thanks for supporting me in my academic career and my decision to come here. As you can see, it worked out. I'd also like to shout out Robert, thanks for your devotion to the music program and the kids in it, and the crazy amount of support and kindness that you've given me. So sincerely, to each and every one of you, thank you. Only at SAS does finance class consist of learning about Bitcoin and Tesla. Only at SAS are kids encouraged to spend far too long making a giant papier-mâché Sasquatch. Only at SAS, a teacher would automatically say yes when you asked to put a picture of Elon Musk on the robot that you built. Those examples were all pretty goofy, but it's true that some of the best laughs I have ever had have happened with you guys. Like the time we learned that Katie Martin shouldn't be trusted to open bags of tortilla chips, something that I still think about a lot. I smile at the thought of the countless times that Alex Shelton has drawn Homer Simpson or told a terrible pun, some of which I ruined by saying the punchline before he got the chance. Going all out for Spirit Week is another fond memory of mine. It was rather entertaining when a couple of us decided to dress up as Robert on Freaky Friday, and there was a small army of lookalikes walking through the halls. And of course, all the jams in the music room. Even when things sounded a little helter-skelter, in the end we managed to always have it come together. Every day has been brighter when I get to see all of you, and that's going to be one of the things that I miss the most. To watch all of us grow, change, and thrive is something that I will never forget. We've supported each other through thick and thin, and I truly feel lucky to be graduating with such an amazing, talented, and resilient group of people that I've grown so fond of throughout the time that I've been here. I'm not fully ready to leave this school, but I'm excited to see what lies ahead for each and every one of us.
Not quite as tall as Robert, but I can aspire. Each year, the staff at SAS selects students for the staff award. This year's class has been so strong that we selected 3 award winners. In choosing the staff award, we look for qualities that don't necessarily stand out on a transcript, job, or college application. We look for students that set examples by their actions and not solely by their list of accomplishments. Students that show compassion for others, and students that have overcome past challenges in their lives and decided to look ahead and succeed. I'm proud to present to you the 3 students chosen for the staff award this year, and I assure you each easily meets the award's criteria. Agitated, loud, unpredictable, ostentatious, hard to pin down. Petty said, without a doubt, this year's SAS Award winner for most likely not to make it through class, or maybe tonight's graduation ceremony without asking to leave for something. These are not exactly the words people would choose for an award winner, but this is SAS. And as I described prior, the staff award is unique to our school. As Cheryl said, I haven't always seen eye to eye with this person, but the passion is what makes them full of possibilities. Tyler said this person has the unique ability to tilt a room, and in my classroom, turn it upside down on occasions. But the student was willing to have difficult peer conversations and let students know to respect their teachers and the school and to do things the SAS way. As this student moved towards graduation, the gratefulness to SAS was impactful to everyone. As MC of Barbara's Iron Chef competition, I was so impressed with her leadership under pressure and the high quality of her Puerto Rican dishes passed down to her by her mother. Our first staff award winner, Selah Lugo. School during a pandemic was enough for most of us, but making up additional credit to graduate was even more impressive. It would have been easy to quit, easy to make excuses, easy just to give up. But that didn't happen, and that student is here with us tonight. But even more impressive was doing this while working a job and taking care of their family. Truly an extraordinary effort, rewarded tonight with a diploma and recognition by the staff with this award. Teachers shared many common words about this student: kind, funny, ready to laugh, consistent, hardworking, peaceful, integrity, self-advocacy, and consistency. Wow. I would always share a few words with him as part of a favorite Elton John song, a song appropriate tonight as we say goodbye to our seniors. I'll sing a few bars. Ooh, ooh, oh, Daniel, my brother, you are older than me. Our second staff award winner, Daniel Lopez. Four-year letter winners are a rarity at SAS. To come in as a mid-year ninth grader and then finish as a June senior rarely happens at SAS. And that unique student really becomes part of the fabric of the school. Teachers said, I just can't imagine this student graduating, as they're such a fixture of the SAS culture and community. This student has grown up from a goofy, shy young boy to a confident graduate ready for the next step. This student's kindness and inclusion of others makes them everyone's friend. This student is not afraid to be their authentic self. The maturity and ability to get along with staff while joking around will be dearly missed. I always looked in shock and amazement at this rather large, clumsy at times, not always on the same page kid, who became the driving engine of the SAS music program, pushing a song's beat on the drums. It goes without saying that this student's impact on SAS has been both powerful and memorable. Our last staff award winner, Alex Shelton. Our three staff award winners.
Good evening. Graduates, this year you engaged in the work of citizenship by planning for your future, even while you were stuck at home. You wrote resumes, applied for jobs, practiced interviews, applied to colleges, and applied for many, many scholarships. I'm excited to see all of the amazing things that you go on to do. Now we want to take a moment to honor all of our scholarship recipients. But first, we would like to thank the following scholarship contributors for making it possible for our seniors to continue their training and education. Thank you, Ashler Masonic Lodge, Bigfoot Forward, Bothell Kenmore Chamber of Commerce, Cornerstone General Contractors, Counselor Morita Calburn, Holly and Cliff Call, Beezy Davis, North Shore Rotary, Scholarship Foundation of North Shore, Windermere Foundation in Woodinville, and Woodinville Rotary. With your generous support, these students are able to take their next steps.
It is now our pleasure to present the 2021 scholarship winners. These students collectively were awarded $40,000. Let's give a clap for that. We are extremely proud of you. I'm going to say each recipient's name. Students, please stand up and remain standing so we can acknowledge you where you are. Jasmine Alamares. Aiden Alspector. Riley Boss. Francesca Bardetti. Grace Davis. Stephanie Edelgard. Ali Fiallo. Lala Hansen. Elias Johnson. Daniel Lopez. Gabe Marquez Valdez. Kaylee Maynard. Addison McDaniel. Joni Newman. Alex Shelton. Ade Sudelman. Adam Wackling. Haley Ward. Hayden Welsh. And Aaliyah Zamorano. Thank you, students. You may sit down now. We are thrilled to have the North Shore School District School Board member, Mr. David Kogan, speak next.
Thank you, Lori, and thank you, Principal Tayo, for inviting me to share some remarks. SAS graduates of 2021, congratulations, you did it. Greetings, family and special guest, hello, SAS and district staff. Thank you for joining with these seniors to celebrate their accomplishments. After more than a year at a distance, it feels particularly meaningful to be present with each of you today. We are here at the culmination of a senior year like no other. For the first time in history, your formal education was experienced solely through technology. As fascinating as it is that we see and communicate with each other from multiple locations at the speed of light, through this experience, we more deeply realize the importance of being together. Separation from friends, loved ones, teachers, and classmates has been difficult. It has lasted so long, and the isolation has been exhausting. This isn't the senior year you anticipated, nor is it the year you deserved. Your loved ones, teachers, and community acknowledge the countless sacrifices each of you has made throughout your senior year to stop the spread of a global pandemic. We recognize how much you have missed, we know how hard this has been, and we understand this isn't fair. Thank you for demonstrating maturity beyond expectation, for your selflessness, and for your concern for others. For many graduating today, dealing with a global pandemic isn't the most difficult obstacle you've had to navigate. You are no stranger to having to work harder to manage circumstances most can't even imagine. You've shown great courage and resilience to reach this day of your graduation. You put in the work and you have succeeded. Challenges will come as they always do. And at the times when you feel uncertain, recall how you've proven that you can handle more than your fair share. It isn't easy to raise a child, and it isn't easy to teach them. All of this was so much more difficult during virtual schooling. I'd like to acknowledge the families and loved ones for their extraordinary support of each graduate. Thank you. And we are all deeply grateful to the SAS staff and administration for everything you have done to overcome throughout this, the most challenging year of your careers. Your dedication to your students and to their families is unsurpassed. The extraordinary happens at SAS because of you. SAS was created in the 1970s by C.P. Johnson. The need was recognized to have a school that better supports individual student learning. Today, you become SAS alumni and carry on this long and proud tradition. You have earned your diploma, and this accomplishment is forever. Moments like graduation can pull one's thoughts to what lies ahead. As the future is unknowable, this brings some stress and anxiety to most of us. Yet this isn't a problem in need of solving, rather a truth everyone faces. Seeing how things unfold is a part of life. Your future isn't a destination. It isn't often the distance waiting to occur. Actually, it is through your choices and through each lived day that you construct your life. You have become the most impactful determiner of your happiness and of your future. Know that your worth cannot be determined by comparison to others. You are unique. No one has ever lived your experiences, and no one will contribute as you have and as you shall. Be true to your values and to your dreams. Have the courage to be yourself and to live your genuine life. We are all rooting for you, and we admire all that you have accomplished. And now I proclaim to those gathered today that I certify on behalf of the Board of Directors of the North Shore School District that the graduates receiving diplomas today have met the high school graduation requirements of the state of Washington and of the North Shore School District. It is my honor and privilege to recognize you as the SAS graduating class of 2021. Very well done.
I expected you to have a louder cheer. You just did that, right? You just were recognized for having completed your high school career. All right, those helping with graduation, can you please take your places? Graduates, we're about to get started with your diplomas, so give us just a minute. Families, we will be sending home through the mail a disc of all the pictures being taken tonight free of charge for you. That will be something to look along with your official graduate diploma that will be sent home to the kids. So I need to get out of Tyler's way here.
Good evening, everyone. Our staff discussed and finalized a list of words that uniquely describe our graduates. I will read the 3 descriptors for each student as they walk across the stage. We will award the diplomas when everyone is ready.
Ali Diane Flores Fiallo.
Brave, devoted, and cheerful.
Jaden Raquel Linker.
Expressive, caring, sympathetic.
Addison Claire McDaniel.
Warm, thoughtful, writer.
Elias Sage Johnson.
Cool, thoughtful, and conscientious.
Riley Stephen Bass.
competitive, serious, respectful.
Elise Katrin Ann Moreau.
Confident, verbose, intelligent.
Jasmine Almarez.
Caring, driven, sociable.
Gabrielle Marquez Valdez.
Philosophical, wise, conversationalist.
Mars Garino.
Funny, fashionable, knowledgeable.
Francesca Aurelia Bardetti.
Charismatic, creative, entertaining.
Grace Davis.
Thoughtful, friend, supportive.
Theo Ryan Williams.
Compassionate, consistent, curious.
Justin William DeBry.
Consistent, goal-oriented, inspirational.
Andrew Knapp.
Artistic, creative, style.
Peyton Fantozzi McNeil. Cans.
Loyal, smart, diligent.
Ethan Armitage.
Kind, adaptable, unselfish.
Nick Tucker Guatelli.
Growth, funny, collegiate.
Daniel Lopez Carrillo.
Positive, polite, calming.
Ade Salim Suleiman.
Dependable, brave, gracious.
Alexander Harrison Shelton.
Easygoing, success, drummer.
Giordana Aguiar Mascarenas.
Bold, resilient, energetic.
Haley Ward.
Persistent, prompt, resolute.
Kaylee Rose Maynard.
Studious, mature, ambitious.
Stephanie Michelle Edelgard.
Attentive, helpful, trustworthy.
Caden Eric Franzo.
Writer, cooperative, musician.
Catherine Alexandra Martin.
Kind, musical, agreeable.
Adam Walkling.
Caring, generous, contemplative.
James Alexander Ray Thomas.
Creative, sociable, talented.
Haley Gabrielle Beaupre.
Driven, cool, giving.
D'Amico Fox.
Charming, genuine, resilient.
Lala Ivy Hansen.
Bright, devoted, Aaliyah.
Aaliyah Marie Zamorano.
Bright, devoted, Lala.
Selah Bella Lugo.
Convincing, genuine, talkative.
Hayden Alexander Welch.
Good-natured, cordial, enjoyable.
And we have 4 other graduates to announce. Max Henry Sherling.
Polite, honest, gracious.
Haley Daniela Malkasian.
Decisive, real, and strong.
Brooklyn Elise McLinn.
Resilient, energetic, and bold.
Joni June Newman.
Advocate, sincere, humanitarian.
Before we conclude with the turning of the tassel by Jim Thomas, just a few instructions for after the ceremony. Again, parents and friends, we will be sending home pictures that were taken tonight. And please meet your seniors outside of the fenced area and off the field, because no one can be on the field. Graduates, once you have retrieved your cap and tassel after throwing it in the air when Jim tells you to, please leave the field and meet your families outside the fences. And please remember to return your gowns. Jim, you ready? Graduates, if you don't have your tassels to the right-hand side, put them over there, and Jim will direct the rest.
Graduates, please rise. Please move your tassel from right to left. We are now graduated.